I had quite a few books on my March TBR. I didn't get to most of them, but I did read my average, I guess, amount of books in March. Some of them I have in front of me, some of them I don't. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So, first I read Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. This is a suspenseful romance, I guess. It has a mystery plot. Our main character, Wynn, is a police chief, and she moves to this small town after a big life change and meets Griffin, who is one of the founding family's son kids, and he is very, I would say, grumpy, keeps to himself. He has his routine. He loves his ranch and his family, and he doesn't want to add anything into that to complicate his life. So, of course, when they have their one night stand and neither of them are leaving, they kind of have some fun issues, I guess. I don't know. It was entertaining. It was fine. I gave this 3.5 stars. I found it pretty predictable, but it was still fun, and I'm excited to continue the series. Then I started Blankets by Craig Thompson, which is a mammoth of a graphic novel, and I DNF'd it at 262 pages, I think. I just didn't care, and it was very long, and it wasn't vibing with the art style. It just wasn't doing it for me. I don't think there's really much else to say. I talked about it a lot in my Reading Blue Books vlog that I posted, I think early March, and that was a fun vlog, but that was a major fail of a book. And then also for that vlog, so Indigo Ridge, Blanket, and the next two books I'm going to talk about were all for that Blue Book vlog. So I read A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, and I absolutely adored it. I will say, if you read a lot of romantasy or fantasy even, the major plot twist at the end of this is kind of predictable, but it was still a really fun time, and I loved the Norse mythology inspiration that was behind a lot of character choices, plot lines, names, all of those things. Not like a directly following kind of Norse retelling, but it does have a lot of elements that tie into Norse mythology, which was so cool. And I would say that it is a good book to start a mythology journey if you would like to. It kind of sparked that in me, like me wanting to. This and Stoneblind, although I still haven't finished Stoneblind. I'm kind of taking that really slowly, but they kind of sparked that interest in me. And basically, in this book, if you don't know, haven't read it, haven't watched my Reading Blue book, that's so hard to say, my Reading Blue Books vlog, then you wouldn't know. This is about Freya. Wow. This is about Freya and her journey after her terrible husband is killed by her. And that's literally on the back cover. But she also meets this guy named Bjorn, and he is the son of a, not king, but kind of like a warrior king. And it's their journey trying to secure her place within his father's kingdom. She's married to his father after all of this goes down, because she's supposed to be the key to him becoming king of all realms. And so she's very powerful, very important. And so, of course, that means people are after her. It was very good, very well done. I loved the writing. yeah, I would recommend. I gave this 4.5 stars. And then I read One by One by Ruth Ware, and I absolutely enjoyed that. That was my first like mystery thriller that was, first of all, adult, and second of all, not a classic. Um, and so it was really interesting getting to see a little bit more of the like crazier side. I mean, not that it was crazy by any means, but like, YA mystery thrillers don't go that hard. But it was very fun trying to put it all together and figure out who was the killer, who was terrorizing this group of people. Was it one of our narrators? Was it not? Who could it be if it wasn't? And piecing everything together. The why for this one was pretty cool. I tried to justify it to myself that you some people wouldn't have needed to die if a certain thing hadn't happened, but I think it's only one person. So that doesn't even make sense in my head. But it was a fun time. And I gave that one 4 stars. And then for my family book club, we read Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm not 100% sure, but this one was really interesting. So it's about a therapist and her sessions with her clients, but also her own sessions with her therapist. Obviously, things were dramatized and fictionalized and all of that so that she wasn't breaking any rules, but it was very fascinating and it definitely made me interested in getting back into therapy because hot minute since I've been and I could use it. But it was very interesting. There were a few characters that we follow, so each of them were very different perspectives. Their stories were so interesting in how they changed from the beginning of going to therapy and the end of the book, and how much they grew, but also how much Lori, as their therapist, grew because of them. And it was so fun to see that and how each person taught her something different and really opened her eyes to how their sessions impacted everyone. So that was really cool to see. And we had a really great discussion about it in my book club. My cousin is a therapist, and um, getting to hear her thoughts on what her practice is like versus Wendell and Lori's and everyone's different sessions and everything. Really, it was really cool to hear about that from her. And I did give that 4.5 stars because I really truly enjoyed it. And I know I don't normally enjoy nonfiction, but it's felt like fiction. And then I tried to read Wicked Serve by Grace Riley. This is the fourth book in her. Oh, I don't remember what it's called. I never remember what the series is called. But each book in the series follows a different sibling or family member within this one specific family. They all play different sports. This is, I believe, the last book following. What's her name? I didn't like it, so I didn't even write their names down, but it's following the daughter, so the youngest sister, as she tries to figure out volleyball and school and all of these different things within her college life and her family and everything. And she had a summer fling with this guy on the hockey team who her brother, who's also on the hockey team, really doesn't like. And it was boring. They didn't have any kind of emotional connection. It felt very insta love. I'm not sure. They're supposed to have had this whole summer together, but like that didn't feel developed at all. And so when we're supposed to be believing that, yeah, they're into each other and they've had all this time, so we're supposed to believe it, it just, I could not believe it. And I tried. I really tried. There were so many times where I wanted to DNF it, and then I finally did. And I'm so happy I did. But yeah, I could not get through it. It was not fun. And thinking back on the rest of the series, like I had the same issues with the other three books, and like why I decided to continue on with the series is still a mystery to me. But if you've read it and you love it, I'm so happy for you, because I really truly wanted to love that series when I first started reading it. It just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. And then I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So this chunky book was so good. I really enjoyed this read. It is crazy how much of the books were cut out for the movies. I remember certain parts of this, I was so upset that they weren't included in the movies, because I love the Harry Potter movies so much. But this one specifically, there were certain things where I was like, why did they change that? Why did they take that out? That it was so upsetting. And I really, really enjoyed this. This is the fourth book in the Harry Potter series, so I can't really go into what it's about. If you haven't read the books or seen the movies, Harry Potter is about a boy who doesn't know he is a wizard, and on his 11th birthday finds out that he's a wizard and gets to go to this magical school called Hogwarts. And there he meets his best friends, Ron and Hermione, and they get to learn about magic and their magic history, and a bunch of fun things happen in this series, a bunch of sad things happen in this series. This one really got me. Yeah, it's such a good series, and I loved this installment. I cannot wait to get to the next one. I don't own that one physically. I'm getting these all from like little free libraries and stuff like that, where the author won't get any money from me, basically. But I really did love this one so much. Cannot wait to get to the next one, and I gave this book 4.5 stars. And then I read The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. This was so good. Okay, I love a good memoir by a celebrity, and this one taught me so much about Kelly Bishop. I first things first, I love Gilmore Girls. One of my all-time favorite shows. And Emily Gilmore is my favorite Gilmore. She's not nice and she owns it, but she's not nice for certain reasons. I don't know. I love her. And I love Kelly Bishop, but I haven't seen Kelly Bishop in anything other than Gilmore Girls and Dirty Dancing. And so getting to know her history, it was so cool. She was a dancer, and then she was on Broadway as an actress, and then she was in like TV and movies, and she's just so talented and wonderful, and she did such a great job narrating this book and learning so much about her life, not only on stage and on screen but outside of that. Was such a cool experience, because I didn't know any of this information, but I've looked up to her for a while. So fun. I, like I mentioned earlier, don't typically rate nonfiction, so I didn't give this one a rating, but I really did love it. I really enjoyed it. And if you love Gilmore Girls or Dirty Dancing or dancing in particular, I feel like you could enjoy this. Or if you're just like a musical theater kid, you would like hearing about this. Or even if you don't like any of those things, you might still enjoy this, because there's something in it for everyone. And she was such an activist back in the day, and I feel like she's still trying, even in her older years, she's still trying to put it out there that, you know, she believes certain things and she doesn't really care what anyone thinks. And she has her own morals, her own ideals, and it was a fabulous reading experience, and I would recommend. And then lastly, for the month of March, I had a reread, and that would be Punk 57. Okay, I don't want to hear Punk 57 slander. I love it. I don't care. I know it's bad. I don't care. It's very toxic. It's very fun. And I have tabbed the heck out of it. Anyway, Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. I know that objectively this is not a good book, but I think that Penelope Douglas puts something in their books that just alters my brain chemistry and makes me want to keep reading. And their ideas are just so fun and out of the box. I know a bully romance is toxic. I know that it's not healthy, but it's fun to read about sometimes. And the struggles that these characters are going through outside of all of that is also really interesting to me. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I reread it because it had been years since I reread it. And I think, you know, as I've grown, some of these things are just absolutely crazy, but it is what it is. Also, I think the first time I read this, I didn't have the like aversion to song lyrics in books that I do now. So that was fun remembering that while reading this, that there are so many song lyrics. It was a time, but it was a fun time, and that's all that really matters. I really enjoyed this. If I rate it just based off of enjoyment, it's a 5-star book. If I rate it objectively, it's probably like a 2.5, 3-star book, but we're rating it for fun, so it's 5 stars. Um, but I really enjoyed it. I had very mixed bag for my reading in March. I am hoping that April is better. I'm a little scared for April because of some of the vlogs that I have planned, but I think it's going to be a fun time. So we will see next month, I guess, in my April wrap up how I feel. But I think I'm going to actually put the stats for the month of also ignore my trash. Oh my gosh. I keep telling you to ignore things. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think I'm going to put my stats on the screen to kind of show you how many pages I read. And for the books that I DNF'd, I'm only going to include the pages that I actually read. Yeah. I hope, as far as page number, books read, and average rating, I'm hoping that April is kinder to me because March was difficult. I went through so many slumps where I didn't want to pick up anything. I didn't even want to listen to my audiobook, which rarely happens. It was not a great reading month. However, some of the books were good. Like the ones that I did finish, pretty good. Pretty good. And that is all for this wrap up. And if you have made it this far, please, please go ahead and leave a little goblet emoji in the comments below for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And if you have read any of these books, please let me know so we can talk about them because I would love to talk about them with you since I've read them. And if you just want to like the video, that'd be great too. And if you'd like to subscribe and see more from me, we'd love to have you here. Bye.